Hello everyone and welcome to Weekend Reflections with Tsungi. Lovely to have you on the show as always. I hope your week has been great so far. Now today I am so excited. I've wanted to talk to this lady for quite a while. You're going to have a fantastic time. She's a powerhouse of a lady. So much to share, so much to learn from her. I can't wait to hear her story. Welcome to the show, Patricia.
Thank you, Tsungi. Thanks for having me. Well, powerhouse.
I believe so.
Like
wait
that.
and see what I mean.
My name is Patricia Mbetu. I am an Amazon bestseller author for the Second Act CEO.
Wow.
A guide for professionals and retiring entrepreneurs. This comes at a time when you know what's happening with our economy and how a lot of people have been laid off because we were reliant a lot on foreign funding.
Yeah.
It's just a coincidence, by the way, because I started my career as a nurse, mental health nurse back then. And in the early 90s, I joined NGOs and I stayed in NGOs until I retired in 2020. So that's almost 30 years of working in NGO and working with communities. I ended up working as a country director, chief of party in the region, in both, not both, but in Malawi, Mozambique, mostly in Zimbabwe.
Nice.
So with that experience, I was able to reflect and see how I could always reinvent myself.
Absolutely.
And I found that each NGO I worked, I don't know how many NGOs that I worked for, both local and international.
Wow.
That experience helped me to build myself to where I am today.
Oh, wow.
So I always encourage people as a community builder, basically, that we are never empty people. It doesn't matter you're in a job, we are outside of it. As long as you've got experience of something that will help you tomorrow. So apart from being an author, most of the NGOs that I've worked for were in health and supporting governments to develop their own systems, national systems.
I like that.
In order to
be sustainable.
Manage the health issues that they were dealing with, especially HIV/AIDS era, where initially when I joined NGOs, I was actually tasked with initiating and developing and being as creative as possible in developing a home-based care program.
Oh wow!
So from zero, I developed that, and it became a model for many home-based care programs that followed. I enjoyed doing this, and that has actually been part of the roots of my community development. Because when you work with communities with the real issues that they're dealing with and they're coming up with their own solutions, you find that they own the program. They actually expand and become creative with it. Mind you, coming to NGOs, I'd worked as a mental health nurse in the rural areas, where I also initiated a mental health program, maybe the first of such in a rural setting, which also was a trendsetter in that the ministry then adopted decentralizing mental health care. And with that kind of background, I think that's what grounded me, really. I then went into the NGOs and started working from the ground up. By the time I became part of the executive, I could see how important it was to complement what government does. The government is like a mother.
Yes.
You've got your 10 children with their different needs, and you might have a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody coming to the table to support you, not to take over your problems, but to support you, I think it's the best kind of arrangement that you can look at. Because at the end of the day, these are your problems. If you can work with somebody who's there to support you, that makes a lot of sense. So I worked with Ministry of Health mostly, and
NGOs.
Yes, so it's like the ministry, the government becomes the lead, the Ministry of Health becomes the lead, while NGOs are working with them.
With them, yeah.
So that was more for the HIV/AIDS care and treatment, advocacy, systems development, policy development. So we actually did a lot of working groups to support that and strengthen that.
Well, so you've had a lot of experience, Patricia. I can see God has been doing amazing things in your life.
I can only thank God for that kind of exposure. I actually believe it when the Bible tells us that He has plans for us.
Yes.
Because all things work for good.
Amen.
So with that kind of experience, it sort of humbles you because you're coming from, people have got a perception, NGOs have lots of money. That money actually belongs to our countries. So we have to make sure that you are streetwise in making sure that it works for your governments and that the money goes to where it's supposed to go. I've held budgets, where you are told you've got, the organization says for Zimbabwe, you've got 75 million. You have to be wise to say, where is this going to be? If I'm going to strengthen my government, how can I make sure that make sure that it gets to the community where it's supposed to be, to the hospital, to facility strengthening, and so on and so on. So most of my work also has been developing capacities of managers to make sure that they are leaders wherever they are, and they are doing their best to achieve what the goal is for the government as well as the NGO, to make sure that we are working in tandem. By the time I left NGOs, I had, as I said, I believe in reinventing myself.
Yes.
I had identified a niche where our parents left us a farm, and that farm had been lying idle.
Okay. And
I just felt the edge of being present on the farm somehow, in the middle of all that I was doing, busy in the NGO world.
I'm thinking of inheritance straight away when you said your parents left you.
Yeah.
That's an inheritance. That's actually biblical.
It is. But you see, unless one of you reflects and there's a vision, that can all go to waste. Because we all sat there for years after our parents.
It was just lying idle, not being rented out, nothing.
No. We would put somebody there to look after the farm. They would destroy vegetation and so on and so on, and would complain. And I even realized that when we talk about our own country and saying, when going past through the Marshallland West, where we used to have the bread basket of the nation and the region, I think, you complain. But at the end of the day, what are you doing yourself with the little that you have? You see? So
that's responsibility, and I think that's what God wants us to do. What about you? What role do you have to play?
So we need to melt down things to ourselves and take responsibility. So if, in fact, by the time I decided to, create presence on the farm, we did even our own issues as families, where one of my brothers had gone behind ourselves and sold the farm, pieced it out to different people.
You mean it was actually divided
up? I'm telling you, and people were coming to set up, even put electricity transformers, and no.
And nobody knew.
Happening. We didn't
because know. Because you didn't used to go there.
We're so comfortable. We've got a farm there. So these things happen.
That must have been difficult.
Very difficult. But, at the end of the day, we are blood.
Yeah.
So you have to find a solution.
You have to.
I at some point, I actually watched my own siblings, the boys fighting. And I'm thinking, why are we fighting over this?
And you all own it together.
So at that point, I decided, we're not going to fight over this. When we get money, we should just get legal advice and manage this properly. And eventually we did. We got everything back. And people left the farm. Those who had I don't know what arrangement.
Didn't it?
It took us years to take action, because we needed to make sure that we had the funds.
Okay.
To implement,
to get the people off the farm.
Yes. So once we did that, it wasn't a problem, and we then started again. So once there was presence, I could see the opportunity of us developing stepwise, because we now cared. Somebody would go to visit the farm, support the little team that we had. I actually put a small team there.
Okay.
And started to have, had Mashona type kettle. My first kettle.
First kettle.
One of the ladies who used to work with me here at home, says, "Oh, you were talking about kettle. Where I come from, they're selling kettle."
And that's where you went.
They're reasonable. And I drove.
Oh wow!
And I drove and talk about doing things all at once. Somebody was saying they've never heard of it because I actually went. I picked up the veterinary officer. I picked up a police officer because I'd been told that this is what you need to clear them.
And then you went.
to come. And I went. So,
was this 2020? Because you said you retired. Was
no,
this before?
This was much earlier when I was
while you were still working. Okay.
Thinking about presents. So we went and, the lady helped me a lot because she had kind of found the kettle. And, so that was like a first move. That was really determined that this kettle have to increase and so on and so on. And they'll sit at the farm.
Okay. Was there any infrastructure? Because you said people had been staying. Was there even like
there
a
was
building
hardly any. There was an old farmhouse that was there that needs a lot of maintenance.
That's usually the case.
And that was all that was there. So with having kettle there, now I knew it sometimes once a month or sometimes more. I would go end of day on Friday when they needed vaccines, and I learned quite a lot to manage those.
So you were hands-on. It's sounding to me like you were hands-on.
I had to be.
And it's important. A lot of people these days want to do things by
I had to be.
It doesn't work, especially with startups.
I didn't know even if I needed to call help who. In fact, when people see you coming to such farms, because they are small scale farms, there are other farmers around who are also, they might be there, but they don't have the resources to develop anything. So they think, oh, she's coming, she's got the money. I remember at some point, I put 2 dogs on my farm.
Okay. Was that for security?
For security.
Okay.
No, the person who was managing, or the caretaker, he said he had wanted them. So I got them, the 2 dogs. And after a while, I get calls, your dog is kind of bitten, somebody's got, and
at least goat, not a person.
No.
I thought you were going to say a person.
So I went there and I tried to say, you want to make sure that there's peace. So I went to see the owners and I said, can I have a look at the goat that has been beaten? And they couldn't show me any. So
was it not
but
true?
They wanted compensation. You see, these are some of the issues.
So it was about money.
Money.
Yeah. Oh, that's being
But
deceitful.
so I realized I needed to belong there so that they know me.
Yes.
So obviously we talked. I ended up paying something just for peace sake, but there was they even offered the goat, but there was no bite, nothing.
Or maybe they said it was now okay. It had been bitten a little bit.
This was just 2 days ago. They were already claiming money. So those are some of the environments
very
but you have to belong.
Yeah,
you have to belong. When you're a stranger, anything can be said.
Anything can be said. Yeah. And people take advantage.
Yeah, and it can be in the way of development. So I needed to build relationships. And it wasn't all about money. What I wanted at the time was presence. And that was what I was going to work on. And with that, we then obviously started to have these small few chickens. Then then I put a small plantation for mangoes. And
so they must be, this is the mango season.
The right season
they must
for
be
mangoes.
Ready now.
I will show you the mangoes. You have some, definitely.
Absolutely, I love mangoes.
So
also, it took off then your farm with all those challenges. Then you managed to.
Yes. So now, it did. So at the same time, in my social circles, I'm a social person, really. I belong to a number of social clubs.
Okay.
And it's been a while now that I've been attending these. And the one thing I take away from these social clubs is learning from each other.
Okay.
And we support each other as well. So in the process, I came across entrepreneurs who had never held any formal work, but were doing so well.
Okay.
One of them who has done really well should look at me and say, some of us are not educated. So I always say to them, what do you mean? What's your definition for education?
Of education,
I'm the one learning from you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Learning new things.
What have I brought here for you to learn?
Yeah.
So just appreciating each other and making sure that people have confidence in what they're doing and know that they count. Not that because I've got this big title, chief of party or country director, that I'm better than anybody else. So I learned a lot from the social clubs. And that's how I got myself motivated to become an entrepreneur, really. So I set out. I said there were some people who were doing chickens, some were doing trading across border, and I looked at what I could do with the time that I had. I had a busy job, so I gradually supported my team at the farm by maybe expanding the chicken business, stepwise. Start with a simple 300, 600, and after a while, we had 6,000 chickens.
Oh wow, 6,000. Is that what you have currently?
Currently I've got 130,000.
Oh, you scaled 100 what?
30,000 chickens.
130,000. Yes. Wow, I can't even imagine that. So that's no longer small scale. That's now commercial.
It is commercial now.
So you went from small scale to.
So I think that's how we build ourselves up. So and also kudos to the women in the social clubs, because I learned a lot from them. They are so ready to mentor. I actually had my mentor from the club.
From the club for chickens.
Yes,
I like that, because a lot of people, you find some are not willing to share their skills or their knowledge. Because they think maybe they'll do better than me, that kind of mentality. But I like this.
So in collaboration, in our clubs we just learn. Yeah. We give each other opportunities. If somebody was going to travel outside the country because they are going to do some trading, if anyone else wants to learn, they plan, they join.
I like that. That's the way it should be. I think that's what God would want.
We just think maybe for the fourth month of the year we are going to be traveling out for a meeting. We can go to Cape Town, we can go wherever, we can go to Victoria Falls. Yes.
Oh wow.
Nyanga, or one of us can host us if they have the capacity to.
I'm sure people who are listening are wondering, which social club is this? Are you free to say what it is, or it's by referral?
It's by referral. It's by referral. Yes. So
I'll put the details at the end. You can get hold of Patricia yourselves, and then you can find out.
So this can, I'm happy to support people who have their own.
Okay. I will put details for this and
so I've actually documented some of it in the book.
In your book.
Yeah.
So Patricia, we want to talk about your book. But I want us to go back a little bit.
Sure.
Because I know you've got a very interesting upbringing.
Okay.
I heard it somewhere. There's an event I attended and I was like really wild. Then we'll continue where we left off here. We'll just put a pause button. Tell us a little bit of your upbringing.
Sure.
What you want to share, what you're comfortable sharing. Because so that people can see, the hand of God and what He did in your life from that point. And then we'll continue with the book.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm a third born in a family of 7 siblings.
Okay.
My parents, mom and dad, were entrepreneurs themselves.
Okay.
We had a second-hand shop in Machipisa.
Okay.
When we grew up, and we used to live in Mbare. My first school was Shingirai Primary School in Mbare. It brings a lot of memories, because I remember the times when there were political upheavals and sometimes schools would be closed and would just jump. All of a sudden we're in a classroom and we're starting to run in all directions, running away from,
so you actually experienced that?
From different directions. My brother one day actually got his thigh caught up in a fence.
Oh my gosh.
And I've got a cousin who's limping because she was affected with polio, and we start to wait, and you're young but you also want to be protected. You come out,
You come out of it, but you remember.
Yes, I do. My dad was also at the time was an activist.
Political activist.
So we would be followed by the police or the army when we get home. Especially sometimes we would be shipped to the rural areas. We don't know why. And all we know is when you get there, I don't know whether they were called Solu Scouts or something. We used to come and start to look for my dad. But those are some of the things you start to remember. How did that happen? But when you look at the history of Zimbabwe, everyone is at a role, so one way or another, especially people our age, and others. So you find that while my mom used to man the second-hand shop in Mbare, it used to be called in Highfields. It used to be called Mukambo. Yes, and in that shop you'd find bicycle parts, second-hand clothes, shoes, you name it, everything. So when I look at the model that we have now of second-hand clothes and so on, and
I've come
a long way with it. Yeah. So we stayed in Harare for a while. Then my parents decided to move to the rural areas where my mom, they continued to have some businesses, a grocery shop and a bottle store.
Okay.
At our business center. But my mom then became a community development worker.
Okay.
They used to be called women advisors.
Women advisors.
Yes.
That's nice.
And they used to educate communities on simple things like hygiene, creating wealth, small projects. Some of them they would take to the show for competitions. And we used to have, a lot of people coming to our family household, learning those skills. And especially when it was weeks leading to the shows. Mom used to be extremely busy to make sure that whoever came with whatever product that they wanted to display, she would make sure she helps them to polish it up.
Okay.
That's how I also learned to do embroidery and a bit of things.
Wow.
I haven't.
So she really was an entrepreneur.
Wow. She was. And with time, she then by the time my mom retired, she actually was now looking after a number of children. But this is like just her own. She decided she would, in her household, should look around children who were struggling, especially those who didn't have fees, those who were orphans, and she was looking after them.
Wow.
By the time she passed on, we realized she left. Yeah. We were not quite ready for it, but we found ourselves with children who needed to continue with the education we'd never planned for.
Oh, wow. I'm sure she was also very prayerful.
She was a prayerful woman, and when I had time with some of the children, she would tell you, would get a phone call actually. She's wearing a uniform. She was Catholic. Mm-hmm. She's about to go to church, and she gets stuck at the gate because she was unwell.
Oh.
She was like a determined woman. She just wanted to make sure that she balances a spiritual being with whatever else. So they would say, so we would phone, Mom, but you're not well, why don't you go inside? By the time they phone us, it's as if she was being resuscitated by these children to have another life. Yes, it kept her going. She was so determined. She would be the one person who would come to your home to visit, and the first thing she's spotting around what else she can take for her children.
For her children, thinking, not for herself, but for the children.
If you ask it how my children are, you're already deciding what to take with you. So
she had the right idea of love, because that's what we're called to do as children of God. She was an amazing example.
She was like that.
Wow.
If I only could be half of what she was.
You're doing very well.
But she inspired me a lot. In that, in 2013, I then decided, of course, when she passed on in 2009, we inherited these children. Some were placed in boarding schools. At the time I was working in Malawi, I even took one with me and enrolled them in Malawi, and, to make sure that they were not all of a sudden left hanging.
Yeah, that's great. Wow.
By the time I came back, I had founded this NGO in 2013 for providing access to education for children.
Oh, wow. And it's something birthed from your mom?
Yes. It started in Norton, where she was living. Wow. So it's still going. It's for all the urban and rural schools around Norton.
What is it called, your NGO?
That is your capacity development.
Okay. Wow.
So I actually dedicated the first proceeds for this book, the first 500 sales that I made here in Zimbabwe for the school fees.
Oh, wow.
Starting last year, because I think the NGO was at a crisis where sponsors had withdrawn and funding was drying out. Okay. So that sort of helped us to cover the fees for last year and some for this year. And I'm sure there are other initiatives that the board is embarking on to make sure that we sustain the children that were already in the program.
So if it's okay, we'll also put details about that at the end.
Sure.
Because there might be people we don't know who's watching might be interested.
Yes.
They can just quietly approach you directly.
Yeah. It's a simple model where we don't create an orphanage.
Oh, okay.
So we are looking at identifying family who could stay with the children while they go to school.
I like that. Is that like foster care? Is that the same thing?
It's similar to foster care.
So that they grow up in a family environment and not just in a hostel or something.
Some families are warm and strong. Wow. Some are weak because they also are struggling families. Yeah. But I know, for example, we had a child who did very well at O level in one of the rural schools, rural Norton schools, and we needed them to come into urban so they could do A level.
Yes.
So we had to identify a remote relative who was warm enough to take her in, and she was very successful.
Oh, wow.
Finished the A level. She now finishing university.
And sometimes it's just for a season that you have these kids, then they pass on to someone else.
We appreciate people like that.
Wow.
In so many ways, we would be saying we are sponsoring the child, but if this family was not there, the child would not have gone to school. So this is the simple model that
I think it's great because people can see where they can help, whether it's sponsorship or both, or have taking a child in.
And again, last year we had children, prefects from one of the secondary schools here in Harare adopt a child, just paying school fees.
Wow, that's amazing.
For the year,
And sometimes it's not even that much.
It's not. So the figures are not frightening at all. Sometimes you're talking about $100 a term.
Wow.
It depends whether they need a uniform, maybe a bit extra
or something.
But around $100 a term per child. So that's one area where I've supported and I continue to support that, because I worked in NGOs for so long. That's kind of
it's helping you, that experience. Yes. You can see just the way, God doesn't let you do things for nothing. You can actually see now you're working in your calling and your purpose, but you've got the experience now.
Yes, and even when the sponsors that we got, initially they were just a group of Zimbabweans living abroad.
Oh, like diaspora?
Yes. Okay. Then eventually they formed an NGO to fund children beyond just capacity development. And we worked with those young people. Their hearts were in the right place. They did not have experience. I had the experience. So, I'm sure they also learned a lot from us as they developed themselves to become an NGO in the UK where they are. But time changes, they grow up, they've got other things
they want to focus on.
So the sponsorship is ceased from them. And there is ways to look at other ways of supporting the children.
I like that name. That's so much.
So this year, in fact, we actually had children come. I think we've got 2 children who've got 15 points each at their A level. Another one with 14. There's another one with 9 points. I don't know the O-level results yet, but it's just encouraging when you see them pass.
They seem to work very hard.
And as much as we say we go as far as access to primary and secondary education, we've had sometimes to support children to make sure that they go for tertiary education.
For those ones who've done well.
Yes, so that's an area that we do not even have a single cent for. So we have to continuously,
for the tertiary education.
Yes.
Okay. So it's another area for sponsorship.
Yes, it is. Okay. It is.
But so will they have gotten into the universities, but all they need is to pay? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Places are always
there. They're always there. Okay.
So we're also looking at not just universities. It may be other skills,
like vocational
skills, to make sure that what they should get something that they can call their own skills as they live.
I like that, because not everyone is necessarily academic.
That's
but you can still do something that you'll be able to live on once you're qualified. Wow, bless you for the work you're doing. It's amazing. Oh wow.
So that's the side that I kind of learned from my parents, especially my mother.
Yeah.
She had a warm heart for almost everybody, really. And then I transitioned into NGO, so it's kind of a natural.
It is.
My sister is also working in NGO.
So it's because of what they saw when they were what you saw when you were growing up, naturally.
In fact, we are all inclined that way when we look at where we are now.
That's actually amazing, because it just emphasizes the role parents can play. You're kind of role models. You're modeling a role in the home without even knowing it.
So I think we need to be grateful for our parents.
Yeah.
I know sometimes when we fail, we think my parents, but I think as grown-ups, we need to choose what to take and what to leave. Yeah. They are not maybe they were not perfect people. Same as I am not a perfect
but learn
person.
The good, take the good.
Take the good. So we should not waste time thinking, I'm drinking now because my parents used to drink, or I'm doing this because no. I've always said that to children. Sometimes we've had opportunities to counsel them, to go out on camp. It's an area also that we are no longer doing because of resources.
Under the NGO?
Yes, in the same NGO. So we take the children, take school holidays for a camp.
Yeah.
So that we get to know them well. And you learn a lot more than just what the face value of a child is.
Because you're spending time with them.
We've had children who come to you because they were having nightmares. Not come to you, but you actually discover they're not sleeping when you go out to camp.
Oh.
It's like somebody's living in their dream. When I spoke to one of them, they said to them, why they were restless. And they said, my mom lost a child, but she keeps telling me that I look like that child.
Oh,
you can imagine.
Like their sibling.
Their sibling.
I keep saying that.
So this child is in the program.
It's traumatic.
He comes from a single parent household. Mom is struggling and doing whatever she can. She then gets pregnant. This child. The child passes on. Oh. And each time she refers to this, she's saying, you look so much about. I'm thinking how much we burden these young people.
It is. How did you
realize?
But how did you resolve that?
I know. Maybe it's a way of mourning. I don't know.
But it has to end somewhere. You can't keep reminding someone.
So, with these services, this mother actually requires counseling.
Yes, I think it's because she needs to stop saying that. And you can't tell her to stop saying that.
I know.
I hope she was helped in the end.
So we sort of put it back to the social welfare because we don't have the capacity.
You don't have the capacity. You have to refer.
Yes. So or you find a child who say, when I discovered who my dad was, I went to see him and he told me I was a mistake.
The power of words.
So this program is about education, access to education.
But you get exposed to a lot of
children, yes,
problems that they have.
That's right.
Because it's a whole person, so they're bound to let out these things.
Yeah. And the first time I ever learned about the term kustika was from these children.
Kustika.
I know. I said, what is it?
I don't know what it means.
You couldn't tell them, I had to sticker so then. I said, what is it? He says, there are people who are taking all this, is it some strong stuff that they take?
Oh, okay.
And they can't function, basically. They
can't function. Or drugs or something.
Yeah. So these kids are exposed to this.
Yeah.
And they know in the communities. But what we now need to do is to try and protect them. They know what's bad, but before they know it, they may be eased into it because they don't have their own parent who's present. Maybe they're staying with an aunt.
Yeah.
If it's a single parent, mom is not there because they're hustling.
Yeah.
Somebody else is taking that space.
Yeah.
So kustika simply means obviously somebody can't function because they've taken over. We've got a situation where a child was found by one person goes to church in the morning to clean up before Sunday. They discover there's a child sleeping in the church. And this lady talks to the child. The child says, it's safe here.
They feel safe in the church.
They feel safe staying there. Why? The child says, eventually, of course, after counseling, we got to know that the foster parent, who is the mom's relative, she's an orphan. They were left 3 of them staying with the mom. The eldest had been trained to become a commercial sex worker by the mother, by the foster parent. The middle child was also now being initiated, and this child decided to just run away from home.
Oh,
so
that's sad.
Yeah. So when we look at these programs as access to education, there's also a social aspect that we need to take care of to make sure that the child has got a conducive environment, supportive environment, and that they turn up at school as well and be able to be productive in school. So that's the kind of program. And obviously, for the program to function well, we need to make sure that we do well on resources. As a social worker, we work with the Norton Social Welfare Department.
Oh, it's in Norton, your organization? Oh, okay. I think I assumed it was Harare.
No, it's in Norton.
Have you partnered with anybody, like to assist with resources or
So we've had programs in the past that SAFED supported.
Okay.
Then we had KUK supporting the school fees side of things, and individuals who chip in to support. So it remains small in autumn. We could do more because it's a model that is simple to implement.
Very good model.
But obviously, like I say, it's got its own route, hopefully to cover more. But I always believe sometimes small is beautiful.
Yeah, sometimes
you do what you can.
Do what you can, and you're still touching one life at a time. That's what
right.
matters.
That's right. So, and I kind of like the board because we've got a very strong board that
different expertise and so forth.
Yes,
that's always a good thing.
Very supportive. So that's the side of kind of social welfare work that I support. I've had one of the children who studied economics. He actually did some attachment where I'm farming.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
And he motivated me as much as he was motivated to be there. Because this child, in fact, he has both parents. But when we went to camp, we identified that he was one of the... So the program that we have for supporting communities, we have champions in the community. He was one of the champions.
Okay.
And he was hustling. I think there's mental health issues in the family. And he became the head of the family, even if parents were there, because of mental health issues. So he had passed his A-levels. I think he had 13 or 14 points, but could not take his results. So we were looking for somewhere to raise the funds.
Okay.
So we supported him, and by the time he got his results, he wanted to go to university. Then we continued to support him until he finished.
Oh, and he finished. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
praise God. Wow.
Yeah. Once you are in this kind of work, we talk about retirement.
Yes.
But the human side of you, how much can you retire when, you've got
you can't retire 100%.
A little more that you can give.
It's more transitioning. I like to think of it as
yes,
like now you're living out your call. You've retired officially from an office job, but now you're carrying out your God-given purpose.
Yes. I really thank God for that, because then there's purpose in your life. We actually I'm an empty nest basically. All my children are grown and gone.
How many children do you have?
And I've got 4 girls.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Wow.
So,
and grandchildren?
They've given me I don't want to make sure I've got everybody.
You don't have to name the number. It's okay.
To count everyone, make sure that I don't leave anyone behind.
You don't want to leave them out, but you look so young. Is that first story for another day?
It's a story for another day, I guess.
You
Growing
so
up
youthful.
With girls. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, you look so young.
Thank you. Oh no, yeah. I think I can only thank God for that. Really.
We do thank God. Now we want to talk about your book. This is the book. I'm going to put this at the end as well. I think that's one of the things that I wanted you to share about. Tell us about this.
The second act CEO, a guide for retiring professionals and prospective entrepreneurs.
Many people, I think, will benefit from this.
So it's an easy read book. It's a guide that I felt that I needed to make it.
It's a nice size. I like it. It's not like 400 pages or something.
Thank you.
Very
and
nice.
I was so humbled when Amazon accepted it, and within 2 weeks it was a bestseller.
Congratulations once again! Wow.
So and at the time when Amazon accepted and printed, as girls in the social club, we were going going to Maldives on holiday.
Oh, wow,
it was a bonus along the way. We knew we were bestsellers.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I say we because I actually acknowledge the clubs here. I acknowledge my mentor, Felicitas, who helped me to grow my chicken business.
Okay.
We believe in being frank in the club. If you are handling your funds, your own funds, nothing to do with me, if I get to know it in a way that is, like you're not doing a good thing, we'll tell you right away.
I like that. Accountability.
Yes. So we make sure that, we help each other to straighten up. So basically this book is, how can I say, summarizes some of what I am about.
Wow.
Towards the end of my career in NGOs, I then decided to develop an agribusiness,
Okay.
Chicken business. And with that, I also had a plantation for mangoes.
Oh, mangoes. Okay.
Yes, I had learned about mangoes and I took passionate interest. And fortunately for me, there's a lady, it's a couple, but I work mostly with the lady who we have got the different plants, and I learned about the different plants and I zeroed in on the mangoes.
Okay.
And she has been great support. Her name is Patience. And I've obviously referred so many other people there, because once you taste my mango, you want to have a plant at your house.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm gonna taste when I leave. When we finish this video, I'm going to taste the mango.
So I actually have about 1,000 trees of mangoes.
Oh wow, 1,000.
Yes.
That's huge.
And of good variety, to the extent that we have at least 6 months of the year with mangoes.
Okay. Which is including this period we're in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The rainy season.
Sometimes we go beyond, and I've not had even a problem with the market, because people come, once we've had them, they're waiting, are the mangoes ready? So we just bring them here, package them.
Also, you don't do anything like making juice or anything?
Now we are drying the mangoes.
You drying
the first time we've kind of trying to see if we can take it to scale.
Okay.
And they're also coming out well. I started with small dryer here. Then I put one at the farm where we went to do a bit more and see how far that takes us. Then obviously we've got the chickens, broiler chickens, and I've got a contract. That also I've enjoyed building that business.
Okay.
Because I built it from scratch. I made a lot of mistakes initially. My mentor came and she told me, to destroy everything.
Oh my,
I said, please, wow. I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to destroy.
I hope that was early days.
I know.
Oh, but I'm sure you learned.
When I got to 6,000, I didn't even have the market to sell the chicken. You know how you're ambitious and you don't realize when you're developing, you've got to think, sideways, to make sure that it's a business.
Yes.
I'm coming from an NGO where I'm getting a salary, right? Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden I've got 6,000 chickens. They've done well and don't have a market. Mm-hmm. So when one of my mentors, Felicitas, came to the farm, she just, one end she was telling me to destroy what I'd built. On the other, she had to help me find a market. By the time she left, I had a market.
Oh wow!
Of all the 6,000 children.
That's really amazing.
Chickens. So from there, I sort of started to enjoy it. When you start to sell. Obviously, when it's a crisis and they're selling, mm-hmm. you don't get what you expected. Mm-hmm. There are losses, there are gains. I take that. But it was also part of me growing.
Yeah.
So you start to build your own relationships, your own marketing side of things. And obviously, again, learning from others.
Yes, learning from others.
You end up with an established market. And I did it so well that I even started winning some prizes for being best grower, best new grower, best. So it's encouraging. Also, yeah,
that's a nice transition from 8 to 5.
I know, and also like when you work in the NGO sector, you're working sometimes with your head office away from home.
Yeah.
And you've got the longest of hours.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the leading person in the organization. That I don't miss now.
You don't miss.
Don't have it. It's gone.
The traveling you must miss. I'm sure you must have traveled.
I've traveled a lot. That's fun. How I got to know Zimbabwe, in fact.
Really? During the local trips and also international, but then local
internationally,
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's an eye opener because you learn how other people. The things that when you go to other countries, you see, not for Zimbabwe. No, we don't do this. But maybe a few years later, you're like, this is normal, right?
Going to the furthest districts all over.
Yes.
An eye opener for sure. So how long did it take you to write this book? Like, what was the process like? And now after that, we want to lead into your trainings that you have, because she also has trainings, two types of trainings. Is it 2 types? If I'm not mistaken.
For now.
So maybe tell us the process, and then we'll branch off into the trainings.
maybe a bit of background. During COVID, we were not mobile, so I spent most of my time here.
Yeah, okay.
But because I was the chief of party, I needed to continue working and keep people motivated wherever they were working from. Over the years, most of my work was about developing capacities of managers.
Okay.
And during COVID-19, I had a few chickens at the farm, which my caretaker had been selling. A few chickens, the cattle that I talked about earlier. And we just decided maybe we could sell those during COVID. So we started, enterprising and selling, and he would bring the chickens and would place orders. Okay. And people would just drive around, open their boots. I know what they wanted. He just goes in and he puts in there. So I thought, okay, this was something that could grow into a business. So, and also during my time as leading NGOs, we used to develop a lot of materials that we shared for people to learn. Yeah. And I used to participate, but because I'm like, whatever leaves the organization, you have to interact with it to make it in good shape. So you get polished sometimes without realizing it. And I felt that I needed to develop some manual. I toyed around with a number of ideas of supporting managers, developing managers. Some had lost their jobs even during COVID period because we're now working from home. When we went back, not everybody got back. Yeah. And I thought that was the time to start packaging something to develop capacities of managers. Absolutely. And so I got the idea, and I also developed this program on I called it Smart Retirement then, because we were partially retired or redundant in many ways during that time. Yeah. We're no longer interacting
like day to day,
what we used to do. And I even went, I actually logged onto an international training program, and where you learn by doing challenges. And I was supposed to go, and this is actually biblical, it's based on, so you take, for example, you could take a chapter in the Bible, not a chapter, a book in the Bible, that you could teach people over a period. You would say, I'm having running a 2-month challenge, or 1-month challenge. And at the time, I decided to talk about smart retirement as my own assignment. And I took a 1-month challenge on Facebook, talking about what it would look like. If I was to retire today, what would it look like? What are the things I needed to think about? For me, I think that was the start of crafting the idea of a book.
Wow.
Yes. But by the time I then sat down to write this book, it did not take me that long.
Okay.
Because I attended a number of courses. That was the initial one I attended with Padre Adeo on challenges. And it even talked about how you take the land after training. It's so biblical. For so long, the kings would take the land, and of course it's got different connotations when your siblings hear you saying, I'm taking the land. The land. It's like you've worked so hard, now you established something, you're taking it up to scale.
Yes.
That's the meaning.
The meaning.
So that was one training. Then I also trained with a trainer online in South Africa. And all the ideas that I was putting down helped me, because even if I had different chapters, some of them about NGOs, some about capacity development. I even wrote something about NGOs. I wrote something about pieces of manuscripts in different places. But as I was retiring, I then decided on entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Because I realized that as much as we all want to learn about becoming an entrepreneur, at this point in time, it was very important. I'd seen people who, over time, each year contracts are renewed, but they've not built anything to build themselves for sustainability. They are always like, if I don't get this job, all I have is my car. If I don't get this job, my child will not go to school. If I my contract is not renewed, I'm stranded.
You're stranded. You're so dependent on the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when in crisis, we even apply for jobs anywhere. Zimbabweans are very versatile people.
Oh, they are. They always make a plan.
Yes, we make a plan. So, then I also thought, sometimes we vote with our feet as well. We just decide to go and live somewhere else other than Zimbabwe. And I'm actually saying this, my children are all out of the country.
All out of the country.
They've got their lives out there. And I wish they were here.
Yeah.
Because, there are people here who make it. How do they make it?
Sometimes when there's the biggest challenges, that's where the biggest opportunities are.
You see?
Yeah.
So what sometimes we call solutions are not necessarily solutions, because some will go out there, they're basically just surviving.
Yeah, some are just surviving.
So I strongly feel that this book, if anything, will bring a lot of us who are still out there back home.
Yes, I think it will. It will.
It will also help those who are thinking of transitioning to reinvent themselves.
Yes.
So this is what this book is about. And it also talks about legacy.
Wow. I like the theme. Everything's just connected.
Yes. Yeah. And there's also some exercises for you. When I've heard somebody who says, I went into a hair salon and found this book and I read it.
Okay.
And I asked it to take it home. I'm looking for my own copy. And by the time they finished, they bought their own copy. They said, now I can do the exercises.
So where can people get this copy? I know it's on Amazon. Where can they get it?
It is on Amazon. I have copies myself.
Okay, so we'll put her details as well at the end.
Yes. So we have some are at E13.
Yeah, E13. They've got quite a lot of authors. Yeah.
Then there is Folio Bookshop at Semlevi.
Okay.
And Brooks Pharmacy in Borodale. Yes.
Okay.
So that's where some of the you can get copies there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for being obedient and writing. I think it's going to be so. I think it's going to be so enriching, and it's a very practical book. And you're also talking from experience.
It's
not theoretical.
No.
So that's what I love about.
It's very practical. I talk about social clubs here as well. How they've supported me, not just in learning from others, but even in seed funding.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So from the little contributions we make, people grow businesses. So
everything we've been talking about now is basically in the book.
It is.
Which means
some of it is in
the book, and some of it is on the video. Wow,
yes.
Wow. So Patricia, that's a lot. I can see you're a farmer, entrepreneur. You're still into capacity building. You run an NGO. You're very busy. I don't think you've got a day that you're bored.
I don't get bored. I've got a way of not getting bored.
That's good.
But when you try for recently I've been preparing this training program.
Yes, tell us about those.
So there are 2 programs that came out of this book, especially for women.
Okay.
Where I believe every woman has got a story to tell.
They do.
And it's always best if they are the ones telling
them, not somebody else.
Doesn't matter how simple it may sound. Stories can make chapters of a book. Wow, I like that. So I've been designing that program for women right mentorship. Okay. Where it doesn't matter which level you are at. You might be somebody like him who's in different chapters of different things, or you've thought about writing a story, whatever level, it's an opportunity for mentorship through
into
that
shopping
training.
Or writing skills.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and how long is that? When is the next one?
So we've got 12 modules. Okay. So you can jump into any of the modules, although it's good to have all of them at once. So we are also looking at having a pre-recording of the training so that it's more accessible.
I think
many,
so. So it gives people options.
Yes.
Yeah.
Been talking to a number of people in the second XCO group. Okay. Yeah, and receiving their feedback. Okay. And I think the route of pre-recording is a very good one.
So that one is called what again? Writing.
Women Write.
Women Write.
mentorship. So it's WWM.
WWM, okay.
Yes.
That's an easy acronym to
Then
remember.
the smart retirement.
Smart retirement.
Yes, part of the information would be in this guide, but this is basically supporting people to start from what they have on their hand.
Very biblical as well. I like the principles, all of them. Because what do you have?
Yes.
What do you have?
We are not empty.
Yeah.
I always say, even when I was leading organizations, I would support people who want to develop their own capacities. Because while they're at work, I believe they should give us their best. And it is that best that they're going to draw on when it comes time for retirement.
I like that you're thinking, because you're actually thinking of the employee, but beyond them working in an organization. And a lot of people don't do that. They just want to say, I just care about you at work. What you do afterwards or in your time is none of my business. But your way of thinking is different.
Yes, it's very important to help people off board. Yeah. Because you've been working, over a period.
And faithfully even.
Yes. And sometimes you're handed an envelope with a number of dollars. In the past, our parents were even given a bicycle. And they would celebrate it.
And that was like, wow, much. A bicycle.
Yes. They even spent a lot of money to celebrate that
bicycle.
But now, things don't work like that.
No.
I think we should be wiser. That's why I was saying, from us gone or parents gone, we need to choose certain things that still work for us, improve them. And so you start from what you have on your hand. Mm-hmm. And we support you to identify that and help you to
develop and monetize somehow.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's the principle of the smart retirement.
So the second one is called
the smart retirement program. Smart retirement program.
Okay. And that's how many modules? The first one is 12.
Well, they're
both 12 modules.
Yes.
When are the next ones?
So I've not set a date, unfortunately, for the physical one, but we are finalizing the pre-recordings.
So we're going to put the details at the end and her contact details. So you can always reach out to Patricia directly so that you can find out about the book, about the trainings, about anything else that you may want. Huge resource. Like I said at the beginning, remember I said you're a powerhouse.
Oh, thank you.
You're listening to yourself, you're a powerhouse, Patricia.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually excited to say that my brother and his family are also, now giving their own chicken business.
Were you their mentor?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The wife was we sort of...
Your mentee, like?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I love that, because you're passing on the knowledge, even with the book, even with the trainings.
I'm very excited about that.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we support each other. Like I say, that's the principle.
Yeah.
We support each other.
I love that. I love that so much.
As much as I'm talking about smart retirement, training, pre-recording, But right now I've got a book that I'm editing for somebody. Yeah. And, we just look at opportunities to develop.
And help other people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing, the common thread in everything you're doing, from the children, the NGO, to your writing, to your training, to your mentoring. There's that thread of helping people. Bless you. God bless you for that.
Thank you. I guess it's one hat I could comfortably wear of being a community builder.
Community builder. And your mother was that?
She was.
I'm just remembering you said that. Right? Your mother was that. Wow.
So, even with writing, we're looking at building a community of writers.
People need to share their stories. Some can't always speak them, but you can certainly write them.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
And there's nothing as pleasing as writing about what you have developed. Because it's authentic.
It's authentic. It's not fiction.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Patricia. I think, we've come to the end. Is there anything else you'd like to say maybe before we wind off? Any parting words or anything that you want to add, and any words of encouragement to people out there?
Yeah.
And also just tell us a little bit about your reliance even on God and all these things. I think people would want to know as well.
I think we should always encourage each other. The days of the week, 7 days of them, are never exactly the same. The same applies to us as people. We come with different, sometimes even baggages. You don't know when I leave my house what I'm carrying. So always be kind to each other. And I also consider that opportunities to learn are everywhere. We just have to identify them. They can identify ourselves, but if we don't open our eyes, they will just pass.
They'll just pass.
So it's always important to see a human being as human. The same way you want to be treated, the same way you want to treat others. I come from a Christian background. Maybe you might have picked the name Patricia. It's not shown, obviously.
It's not.
But it's a
I don't know
Christian
what does it mean? Do you know what it means?
I just know it's a Christian name.
Yes, it is a Christian
name.
My
parents were very Christian. And with that kind of background, I find that I get grounded if I keep myself linked to God.
Amen.
As family, we go through a lot. But at the end of the day, when we come to cost, it's about God.
Amen. That's so true.
So that sort of energizes us a lot. Having girls grown, if their families, that also has its own challenges. Yeah? But as a mother, grandma, you have to stand by with them. And where can you place yourself in their lives if you do not have the spiritual grounding that we have from God? I find it helps me to talk with the children. It helps us to think, even sometimes sing together if there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, you can just sing.
Yes.
And have joy.
And support each other as we go through, the challenges that we meet as they grow in their own families. I just want to encourage people to always thank God for who you are and the little or whatever else you have. I think it's important. We should never take anything for granted. Knowing that there's a big God out there should just propel us to do more. He does a lot for us. So we should now, this is just the vertical relationship.
Yes.
We should look at the lateral relationship and make sure that we keep everyone as a community linked and support each other. If when I look at the women, strong women in the clubs that I am, if they were not prepared to share, who would I be?
Who would you be? Your mentorship for the chickens and
yes,
for
who
example.
Would I be right now? Might be maybe that one old lady, maybe still at the farm but with nothing.
With nothing, because nobody wants to help you.
Yes. So if somebody helped me, then I should also help
Pay it
others.
forward. Yes. Thank you.
So they've seeded in me, so I should also seed in others.
Wow.
I think it's important that we realize that we are one family, one community. And if there's anything that brings us together, whether it's going to be writing, whether it's going to learn about business, or just to stop to check on somebody else's child whom you see that they are not doing the right thing and talk about. That's how we're raised.
Yes, that is how we're raised. You're so right.
When you're coming from school and you end up climbing a tree, if you were discovered, any parent would tell you to come down nicely.
Yeah,
but
and they've got that authority.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the same way I think should, I know we talk about communities and our traditions, if they're now fragmented and broken. I think the onus is on us as individuals.
We need to go back to that place.
The onus is on us to do that. To go back and pick up some of these things and support each other as a community and to grow as a family of God.
Family of God.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Patricia. So many powerful life lessons there. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your time, Tsungi. I don't know what I would be doing now. I keep myself reading sometimes, and I always say I need to stop thinking something, being creative. Yes.
What?
I will always be creating something, so I need to be stopped and say. So I really appreciate this time that we spent together.
Oh, thank you. I think I know your story is going to motivate and encourage a lot of people, even if it's just thinking, what do I have? What can I do to help other people? So thank you. I think this is going to really touch a lot of lives. Very
Thank you.
impactful chat, conversation. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for watching till the end. Please make sure you share this video because not everybody had the opportunity to be watching right now. And remember to like and to comment on this video as well. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.